China, the palace maid responsible for preparing meals for the palace guards, went out to get water to continue her cooking. Meanwhile, Hong Xiao and Han An sneaked in and opened the pot of soup, throwing in the soul-driving pill given to them by Su Daqian. The soup was later served to the palace guards, who drank it and soon emitted a green glow from their eyes. Han An instructed them that from now on, Su Daqian was their master, and they accepted. Hong Xiao also gave Lu Jun a cake containing the pill, which he ate. He was then instructed by Hong Xiao to kill the king. When the king opened the door, he found his personal bodyguard trying to kill him, but he managed to knock him out. Sensing danger, the king rushed to the princess's palace, only to find that Hai Tang had already attacked her and taken the spiritual pearl. The king tried to take her away, but the palace guards, now under the influence of the soul-driving pill, surrounded the palace. With great effort, the king managed to bring the princess to the misty forest. Fortunately, Ma Yingxiang was also in the misty forest, and the king could finally relax and tend to the princess's injuries. He took a great risk and personally sucked out the scorpion poison injected by Hatanan from the princess. As the sun rose, the princess finally woke up and noticed the king's unusual appearance. She saw the wound on her hand and realized that the king had extracted the toxins from her, which was why his appearance hadn't returned to normal. The king, not wanting to worry her, changed the subject. Later, the king told Ma Yong that he would take him and the princess back to the Daxia palace. However, Ma Yong, worried about Chuna's well-being, refused and instead offered to sneak into the beast palace to bring water for the princess and gather useful information for the king. With no other choice, the king accepted and Ma Yong left. The king and the princess walked to a spot where they could see the starry sky, enjoying a moment of tranquility. Despite his efforts to control himself, the king was still in great discomfort. The princess, sensitive to his unusual behavior, felt heartache and self-blame. Uncertain about their future, she suggested that they pay their respects to the heavens and earth one more time. They sincerely paid their respects as a couple, using the heavens and earth as witnesses. Meanwhile, Ma Yingxiang arrived at the Beast Palace and snuck into the imperial kitchen. However, he was immediately injured with a hidden weapon and taken to the prison. There, he was flogged and asked about the king and the princess's whereabouts, but he refused to talk. Hai Tang, sensing his toughness, ordered the guards to bring Chun and cut her hand with a knife. Ma Yingxiang cried out in pain, and unable to bear it any longer, he took the sword from a nearby guard and committed suicide. When the king hadn't heard from Ma Yingxiang for a long time, he sensed danger and decided to take the princess back to grasp the situation. However, due to his severe injuries and insufficient inner strength, the king struggled to break the barrier. He cut his palm and opened the barrier, but the princess couldn't bear to leave the king and everyone in the palace behind, and she refused to leave. At this moment, the full moon had risen above the willow branches, and the king's nature suddenly changed, causing his power to greatly increase. He clenched the princess's neck, not even realizing what he was doing. It was the princess's tears that momentarily awakened him, causing him to release his grip. Soon after, Hai Tang arrived with a group of guards and captured him while he was off guard. The princess was still unconscious. If you love the story, subscribe for the next episode.